Things are already kicking off great for me. Let's be real. After that first day, Captain Garrett took every possible chance to make my life miserable. End me when I quietly ate the garbage they served us. Bad enough to make Osko's cooking seem delicious. Jesus. She told me, the way you eat pisses me off, and slapped me. Look, I can't help the way I eat. When I'd taken too long in the bathroom or in the shower, she slapped me. Look, just 'cause, you and Osko have some sort of shit going on, shouldn't harass me. I'm just the pupil. Based on what she said last time anyway. When I didn't get angry, cry, or complain about the slapping, this apparently constituted attitude, so she slapped me again. I can't win. All that slapping might have started to hurt her hand a little. At one point, she actually smacked me in the face with the bottom of a leather shoe. Had to admit, that one got me a little bit. I mean, you got smashed in the face with a shoe. Getting knocked around had been a pretty standard part of my life ever since I was a kid. I knew getting pissy about it was just gonna wear me down. As long as I thought of it as a par for the course sort of thing, it never made me that angry. But the people around me seemed to think I was being punished for nothing. And one night, a few hours after I'd received yet another of Captain Garrett's messages to my cheek, I was polishing my boots in the living quarters when things took a turn for the worse. What do you mean?
おい、ショーティ、ひでえ顔だな。また兄に引っ叩かれたのか？今度は何をやった？
Nothing. She didn't like the way I was moping around the barracks, or moping around. I don't know why I said that. I mean, that could also work. She didn't like the way I was mopping the barracks, I guess. Not like she really needs a reason anymore, right?
たまらんよな、あの女。何かといえば俺らをクズだのクソだのとこき下ろしやがって。
I'll take the brunt of it.
偉そうに言ってるが、タイだってクソ女じゃねえか。知ってるか、あの女。毎朝格好つけるだけのために、読めもしないフランス語の新聞を読んでるふりをしてるらしいぜ。
That'd be a really weird thing to do. Well, people who brag about reading stuff usually don't tend to be that smart.
だろ？あんなおっかねえ女、絶対誰も嫁にもらわねえだろうな。
Oh God. I feel like she's behind you. I feel like... Yup! I knew it! Classic situation. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. I don't know, Danny. I think Captain Garrett's, pretty cute. You got the wrong idea. Try not to be too hard on her, okay? Seriously.
うわ、マジかよ。あんだけボコられて可愛いとか信じらんねえ。お前上にドがつくマゾか。
Well,
それともボコられすぎてハッピーヘッドになったのか。
more of a sadist, but,
だいたいあんなゴリラみたいな女のどこ見て可愛いとか抜かしてんだよ、バカ。おめえの実家はペンキ屋か。そうじゃねえならメガネ屋に行け。
She just slowly inches closer. Oh, Jesus. And this is when he realized his mistake.
おい、嘘だろ。マジか。
Hello, Captain Garrett. Here to inspect our quarters.
Huh?
Okay. With a forceful nod, Captain Garrett strode between the rows of bunk beds, which lined the walls of our room, and proceeded to inspect whether it was clean, and how neatly our belongings were put away. Hey, I called her cute. Okay, that should warrant not a slapping. Generally speaking, she didn't find much to complain about on these visits unless she was in a spectacularly foul mood. Unfortunately, her timing tonight was pretty much the worst. Oh yeah, I think we're all pretty much... Our whole group's gonna be screwed for this.
Daniel. Daniel.
That's horrifying. Get me out. Breaking out of about her best soprano, Captain Garrett called my partner's name.
Yes, Mom.
Danny waited at attention for her instructions. Cold sweat pouring down his body. His backbone trembled so badly as he replied that I was slightly concerned he might have pissed himself. I mean, he might be pissed. He might, and I mean, yeah, I said.
おい、ダニー。お前ちょっとつらかせよ。ろくに女も知らねえドリルチンポ小僧に。私って女を嫌ってほど教えてやろう。お前、骨は丈夫な方か
I hope your bones are on the durable side.
Yes, Mom.
よしじゃあその丈夫な骨とやらが見えるまでケツをぶん殴ってやれ来い
To be fair, he actually did something to warrant this, whereas I never do.
嘘だろ。待ってくれ、トイ。聞いてくれ。
Is this legal? To just be able to beat your ass till your bones are exposed? And, I guess anything goes, really.
なんだ言ってみろ
シャレであります。
That's what you gotta say on Twitch whenever you say something. Just say it's a joke and it's fine.
喧嘩売ってんのかいいから来い
He's just being dragged.
うわー、ショーティー、助けろ。バディだろ。
You think I could take on this woman? It's impossible. This fucking face. Forgive me, Danny. As I said a silent prayer for my unfortunate comrade, Captain Garrett glanced over at me and pulled her bright red lips into a wicked smile.
何を言っているもちろん風見も一緒だ相方なんだろ
You know, I should have seen this coming. I thought I could just sit here and just watch. Figured as much.
返事はどうした
That is my reply. Yes, ma'am.
両腕を前に出し足を肩幅に開け気合を入れてやる
Why'd you do this to us, Danny? Why? I think I'll quit describing exactly what the two of us subsequently went through out of sensitivity to current internal military circumstances. It's not like she visited us or visited any genuinely unspeakable violence on us, you know? If I had to provide a simple explanation, I guess I'd say that Danny and I ended up laying face down in a bed that particular night. Nothing out of the ordinary. This is my life now. When the instructors finished inspecting our rooms, there was a period before lights out that was informally tolerated as leisure time. Some went to sleep right away. I probably would. Some patched up their clothing. Some headed for the smoking areas with cigarettes in hand. Others sat around thumbing through car catalogs, talking about their simple dreams with their buddies. Among all this, you'd often see one or two guys writing letters to their families. We were technically permitted to make personal telephone calls, but the only phone available was conveniently located in the officer's room. Oh, fuck that. Of course, that meant the squad leaders would overhear every word of your conversation, and they tended to subject you to aggressive questioning afterwards. Writing letters was the better alternative, comparatively speaking. The contents were inspected, of course, but for the most part, they didn't bother censoring them. Supposedly, a few people even got out messages to their girlfriends by pretending to write about their pet dogs. Lying in bed with my aching ass turned toward the ceiling, I watched a few guys scribbling away out of the corner of my eye and decided to follow their example. The writing! Everything! The next day, after finishing the rabbit food lunch we were served on Tuesdays, I took advantage of the brief break to head over to the Post Exchange, our on-site retail store with a rubber stamp in hand. Retail store might sound impressive, but it's basically just a place where you could buy civilian goods supplied to the military for slightly lower than market prices. The selection was pretty random and the staff didn't give a shit. Like most retail stores. In fact, the staff was actually just older students who took shifts behind the counter. Naturally, they weren't the friendliest salesmen in the world. From what I'd heard, a job in the post exchange did come with some perks, but since I was only scheduled to be enrolled here for half a year, I probably wasn't going to have a chance to take advantage of that. Knows. The store opened at 11 a.m. and closed at 7 p.m., earning it the nickname 7-Eleven from the students. Isn't it fucking... But it was really just a warehouse with a counter in the front, right behind a metal shutter, barely even worthy of being called a shop. I need a postal envelope.
いくつだ一つでいいのか
Why'd I say it like that? I just strolled in. I need one right now. 2, actually, and writing paper as well.
なぜ一緒に言わん針金を持ってこいと言われてニッパーも一緒に持ってこないやつは軍では出世せんぞ切ってもいるんだろういくつだ
It pretty much is always like this. In the military, the most important thing is learning the ropes, first and foremost. As long as you do what you're told, no one's going to get too mad at you, unless you're me, in which case I don't do anything and get slapped around like a goddamn ragdoll. The tricky part is figuring out how well you can manage yourself within that restriction. Expanding on that bring some wire example. Guys who bring a wire cutter along to get a reputation as competent, but guys who carry the whole toolbox over are stupid jackasses. The exact balance there is surprisingly hard to get down. It's the job of those with more experience to provide lessons about this sort of thing. After enough browbeating, you eventually learn a degree of common sense that will serve you well anywhere you're deployed. In any case, after accepting my stationery, I took the notebook the clerk handed me, jotted down my name on the first empty line, then pressed my rubber stamp down next to it. As privates, we didn't receive paychecks. Our wages were temporarily deposited into Uncle Sam's wallet. I think that's actually how it is too, isn't it? Like when you're going through when you're going through basic training and stuff. I mean, you're not going to have access to that money anyway. Like, it's pretty similar to the way an elementary schooler's New Year's money ends up going into the mommy bank. When we needed to buy something from the post exchange, we could use our rubber stamp to access some of that money that Uncle Sam was holding on for us, not to us. Oh, Jesus. It was different from the system used in Oslo's school, where we had nothing. Not where students were issued tickets that could be used as currency, but in the sense that it restricted what recruits were able to buy, it was pretty much the same thing. A cashless system might sound kind of futuristic, but in practice it just meant that trade between the students tended to take the form of bartering. For that purpose, cigarettes happened to be particularly useful. There was a set limit on the number of smokes provisioned to new recruits in the school. That was what we were taught. You gotta have some cigarettes, not even if you're not smoking them. Everyone got 2 small packages containing 2 cigarettes each at breakfast, and then another 2 at lunchtime. In other words, brain? In other words, 8 a day, no more, no less. The world was getting more health conscious and all, so a decent number of people were trying to quit, but the guys who just couldn't kick the habit desperately wanted to get their hands on the non-smoker's supply. As a result, they were constantly being bartered for socks, underwear, toothbrushes, towels, and other daily necessities. I didn't smoke myself, so I took full advantage of the situation, using my stock of cigarettes to obtain lots of minor conveniences. Dude, that's how I'd be. I don't smoke. Fuck that shit. You can have all of them, but you have to give me everything. What did it cost? Everything. If you ask someone what a soldier's job consists of, and they start off with fighting for their country, it's best to stop listening. They're just repeating what the people upstairs pay them to say. When you want a truthful answer, you gotta start off by asking the people in mud-covered work clothes. People who know the job well tend to respond in similar ways. A soldier's job consists of digging holes, filling them back up again, rowing boats in circles, and getting smacked around, followed by shitting and sleeping. But among all the wonderful aspects of the military experience, the one almost everyone's going to mention is running. I'm good at that. When you're a soldier, sometimes it feels like you never stop running. They kick you out of bed at the crack of dawn and make you run. They strap a gas mask on your face, make you run. They put a 40-kilo sandbag on your back. Guess what? Gotta run. They tell you it's time for a fun boat class. Then they make you run to the water while carrying the boats in question. I'd bet I'd been running just to kill time ever since I was a kid. In itself, it was something I kind of enjoyed. In particular, it really helped that it didn't require having any friends or money. Perfect. That said, I didn't particularly enjoy running because someone ordered me to. If anything, I was starting to hate it. Well, this was like a thing that we put on ourselves, well, you know, the routine, right? So, like, now that I was beginning to realize that going for a run was very different from being sent on one. On top of that, running doesn't have much novelty value when you're basically never permitted to walk. My mother wasn't around to say, "You really are a fast runner, Yuuji." And Asuko wasn't here to say, "Damn kid, you're pretty quick on your feet." When I thought about it from that angle, it occurred to me that my motivation for running had a lot to do with earning compliments from women. Couldn't help smiling at my own simplicity.
おいショーティー待て待てよおめえ相方だろ
I like how that's his thing. He's like, we're friends. We're friends, right? Come on. Danny sure looked like an athlete at first glance, but running was a major weak point for him. Well, you can be an athlete and, like, not be good at running. You could be good at, like, all this other physical activity, but running, because cardio's in a whole different league of its own. Those stupidly swollen muscles looked impressive, but they increased his overall body weight, intensified the strain on his joints, and consumed way too much oxygen. Useful as they might be for quick bursts of power, they weren't much help when it came to stamina-based aerobic exercise. And just as importantly, seriously, Danny, quit smoking. It's the reason you get tired so easily, yup. Don't you want to be the Navy's #1 Iron Man?
分かっちゃいるんだがお前も一度タバコ吸ってるやつの隣で禁煙キャンディ舐めてみろよバカくせえ
Or you straight go cold turkey and just... Asuko had given me a nice lecture on how crucial cigarettes and coffee were to the soldier's lifestyle. See? I remember. But the way I saw it, smoking came with 100 drawbacks and no advantages. And my personal list of military essentials was topped instead by socks. In fact, a pair I'd obtained through bartering away my cigarettes were paying huge dividends at this very moment. When soldiers run in uniform, they're always wearing combat boots on their feet. And those things absolutely aren't as designed for the job. The jungle boots we were issued here hadn't changed much since the Vietnam era. They zipped up from the side now, but that was about it in terms of improvements. I'd spent a lot of time running around the mountain where I lived with Asuko in jungle boots just like these ones. It's not too bad when there's earth beneath your feet, but running on asphalt in these things, that was pure torture. The soles don't absorb by any shock whatsoever, so every stride makes your joints scream. So I got extra socks, so it helps. By the time you've run 3 kilometers, your toes are blistered. Friction peels the skin off the area above your ankle and below your Achilles tendon. Accordingly, the very first things I bought at the post exchange after arriving here were gel insoles designed for athletes and thick socks made for mountain climbers. This was the reason I deliberately requested boots larger than my actual foot size on the first day. Apart from slipping in the insoles for cushioning, I wore 2 layers of socks, with a standard issue pair underneath the thick civilian ones. The trick was to completely cover my feet in baby powder before putting the socks on. Then I just made sure to tie my boots tightly, practically gluing them to my legs. The difference between people who can run and people who just can't has nothing to do with determination or guts. It's all about their feet. Dude, because when your feet aren't comfortable, running sucks. If you hurt your feet so badly that you can't walk, you're as good as dead. When running's part of your job's description, you better have the tools you need to do it properly, even if it means trading in your cigarettes. Once again, Hosko's advice about relying on good equipment had paid off for me, as it always does. One way or the other, I'd managed to get about halfway through my period of instruction. At this point, our school began to pit its low-life punks and worthless nerds against each other in a series of sports day-style events. Hold on. Why are the nerds having to fight punks? This is bullshit. The term might make you imagine something leisurely and recreational, but naturally that wasn't the case here. It was basically a competitive tournament where all the squads were expected to demonstrate the results of their training so far. As for the events, they started off with fundamentals, running, followed by swimming. Later on, there'd be rowing and marksmanship as well. I'll own the marksmanship! I did have some confidence in my running, but our results were determined by the average time of the squad as a whole. Son of a bitch! I can't carry them to victory! Even if I'd taken first place, we'd still have been near the bottom of the rankings. But that's terrible. What is this? Heroes of the Storm? You all go down together? Back when the squad assignments were being made, the instructors had apparently struggled bitterly to get their hands on more physically fit students with an eye towards succeeding in these contests. Squad leaders who produced good results could apparently earn a reputation for leadership qualities, improving the amount of attention they received from the people upstairs. But of course, Squad 7 was pretty much dumping ground from the worst of the worst, so that means we are pretty shit. It would have been stupid to expect anything from us in the first place. Unsurprisingly, we took home the honor of overall last place in the first event. God damn it! That said, running wasn't even our worst event. We had some faster people and some slower ones. Also, what the hell did I just hear in the fight? Did the game just explode? But at least there wasn't anyone who couldn't run at all. Swimming was a different story. Our group of delinquents came from all across the USA. Some were the sons of fishermen raised on the coast, but others hadn't even seen the ocean before coming here. Yeah, that happens. And sadly enough, my trusted partner Daniel Bone, the self-proclaimed Mr. Marine Corps, was so laden down by his own muscular body that even floating proved something of a challenge for him. It was genuinely painful to behold. In terms of sheer absurdity, a Marine who can't swim has to be up there with a teetotaler running a liquor store. Accordingly, everyone who couldn't swim was worked brutally until they could. Those who just weren't learning landed both themselves and their buddy in special remedial training. This is bullshit! I'm a god! Why do you... Danny, why? And so, I found myself spending a rare off day at the base's 25-meter indoor pool, trying to help Danny master the doggy paddle. What? Danny! Danny! Can you hear me, Daniel Bone? Get it together! You call yourself a Marine, don't sink. Swim! Swim, damn it!
てめえふざけろ俺はアイアンマンだから水には浮かねえんだっつの
It's all those damn muscles. Idiot. What if a big-breasted girl starts drowning in the sea, huh? You planning to say sorry I can't swim and let her die? How dare you let the USA's precious pussy assets go to waste? Are you trying to disgrace the entire Marine Corps? God damn it. That's the way, Danny. Keep it up. The pussy is just a little further ahead. You can do it. Go shove American power into it. I thought he was doing pretty well. I guess willpower alone won't get you anywhere, huh? That was amazing. Just as the sun sunk into the sea at twilight, Danny slid slowly down into the pool. The bubbles that rose to the pool surface in his wake produced a gentle burbling. Struck by a vaguely nostalgic sense of melancholy, I gently lowered my megaphone to the tiled floor.
また貴様らが再会か。いい加減にしろ。何度私に恥をかかせれば気が済むのだ貴様らは。
Listen, alright? It ain't my fault.
毎年クズばかりが集まる第7班だが、今年のセブンチームは史上最悪だ。
Okay, hold on. I beg to differ, because I'm a true badass. Alright? I feel like me being a badass should be able to counteract the bad people, so in fact, we are not the worst. You're just saying that. As a follow-up to our running performance, we managed to capture last place overall in swimming as well. Captain Agnes Garrett was less than pleased by this state of affairs. In her hand, she carried an object of unclear origin, which closely resembled an iron pipe. Oh, the words punishment bar were written across its length. She emphasized her points by periodically slamming this against the walls and floor. It was legitimately terrifying. Dude, that's kind of horrifying. I get it. Were this gorilla woman to take a good swing at our rear ends with that thing? I was fairly sure our ass cheeks would have landed right in the middle of the fairway. That night, as it happens, everyone in Squad 7... Did I say 7? Go on! Squad 7! 7 was obliged to sleep face down with a bag of ice on their ass. This proved to be something of a turning point. When we began our training for the cutter boat competition the next day, everyone was noticeably more motivated than before. I got this. I'm a hero. Rowing a single cutter boat involved 14 people, 6 rowers, each on the left and the right, coxswain controlling the rudder, and a fife player to set the tempo. Set the tempo. Captain Garrett perched at the rear of our boat, blowing fiercely at her fife. And we pushed our 3-meter oars into the water with all our might, repeating the process of catch and row. In this exercise, your abdominal strength and lung capacity were crucial. Pushing your oar into the water required real power, and bending backward to stroke made your abs scream. Of course, our butts were still sore from Miss Annie's loving pep talk. When they scraped against the wooden seats, it was so painful that beads of cold sweat started forming on our faces. Oh God, not my ass, it hurts. Every stroke of the oar felt like dragging ourselves over a bed of nails. Ooh, I could actually feel the skin just under my tailbone scraping itself raw. Ooh, my undies might be all bloodied by the end of this. When we got in the bath after this, we'd all be peeling the layer of chafed black skin off of our behinds. They say you're not a real Marine until the skin on your ass gets tough, but at this rate, our bones were going to poke their way through out first. Some of the older students had suggested a somewhat extreme method of training that involves smacking our bottoms with beer bottles wrapped up in vinyl tape. That's kind of extreme, but I think they were basically saying that there wasn't that much you could do except tough it out. Before long, the day of the rowing competition arrived. At the sound of the supervising instructor's whistle, all the squads took off running toward the davits, where their cutter boats waited. After untying the mooring rope, we lowered our boat into the water surface and jumped in. We've been training for this moment. Then made for the buoy floating 2 kilometers off the coast, catching, rowing in perfect unison as if our lives depended on it. Once we looped around the buoy, we needed to speed back to the davit and hoist our boat back up, at which point our final time would be recorded. A contest of pure physical strength from start to finish. Do we have to win? Can we just not be last? Is that part of this? I'm just like shooting to not lose at this point. Squad 7 was a little short on the intellectuals, but we had more than enough raw power to go around. In combination with our newfound motivation, it managed to earn us a very respectable 3rd place. Excellent. So we didn't have to... Oh no.
貴様ら今日はよくやった。これは私のおごりだ。
Oh.
なんでよし。
Oh, good. We didn't have to win to please our captain. I thought thought I'd have to get 1st place for a second there. Even as runners-up, we'd managed to bring back a small trophy. For once, our monster of a squad leader was actually in a good mood. For once. I like how it said that. When she stormed loudly into our quarters that evening, Captain Garrett was carrying cardboard boxes full of canned beer on her shoulders. When she criticized us, she was insanely harsh. But when we did well, she didn't hesitate to acknowledge our success. That's the Navy for you, I guess. Probably the way it should be. That night, our group of delinquents enjoyed the intoxicating taste of victory for the first time, and driven by the memory of that beer, my easily bribed squad mates suddenly began to make remarkable progress in training. Because they're like, oh, if we do good, we can have this every night, you know. The 4th and final part of the inter-squad competition was a marksmanship contest. I got this in the bag, guys. Don't worry. I know you guys had to help, but I'm so awesome at this. Being a Marine means being a rifleman. And as if to reinforce that message, your skill with a gun was given almost disproportionate weight in evaluations. During normal training, I'd been using a .22 caliber bolt action rifle, but for the tournament, we were handed an M40A2. Oh, that fired 7.62 millimeter rounds. The contest was held at a range of 300 meters. I can do this! Guys, I got this! Everyone fired 5 shots prone, 5 more crouching on one knee, and another 5 standing. After every round, an instructor downrange would inform you of your results by radio. Of course, people who don't have much experience with rifles aren't going to be particularly accurate. Landing 2 shots out of 5 was considered excellent, and 3 out of 5 was superlative. Luckily for me, I'm gonna get all of them. I hope. Since everyone around me was struggling to land their shots on the target paper, my familiarity with 7.62 millimeter rifles left me at a pretty large advantage. Yes! When I put the rifle I'd been given to my shoulder, it felt as if it had slipped perfectly into place. We're used to this. We got it back home. I knew this feeling. I was holding a partner who'd never betray me, an ally I could always rely on. The comforting familiarity of it nearly brought a tear to my eye. There was no reason to get tense about being tested. I just had to treat this rifle with my usual respect and care. And I knew it would repay me in kind. Out of 15 total shots in 3 different positions, I landed all 15 on target, earning myself sole possession of top place for that day. Come on, we should win this just because of that. Like, come on. Ooh. As long as everyone else gets at least 2 shots. Once the contest concluded, I walked over to the observation bunker, provided my name and rank to the instructor, and stated my results. Private Kazami Yuuji, occupation soldier, 15 shots on target, sir.
何？もう一度言ってみろ。
Private Kazami Yuuji, 15 shots on target, sir.
貴様、競技の報告をすれば通ると思ったら大間違いだぞ。おい、こいつの標的紙を持ってこい。
Well,
確認してやる。
You're gonna think the guy over the like calling out the shot or the my shots is lying? I guess it wasn't surprising that he'd doubt me. Asians do tend to look young in general, and at the time I was puny enough that you might reasonably wonder if I'd ever grow all my hair yet. Deciding that there was no point in talking back, I decided to wait patiently for the arrival of my target paper. But just then, Captain Agnes Garrett appeared by my side, languidly leaning down with one elbow against the bunker.
ああ、そいつはいいんだよ。スペシャルなんだ。
スペシャルでありますか。
I am special.
そいつの資料の兵籍番号を見てみな。4桁だ。
He just starts freaking out.
兵籍番号 I9029 市ヶ谷徴兵特殊任務工作員90295。赤坂からの預かり兵とはこいつですか。
I'm a legend.
貴様、草壁麻子を知っているか？
ああ、はい。資料で読んだのみですが、海兵最強の狙撃兵だと認識しております。
こいつはその麻子の弟子だ。ライフルの腕も妙にちょろこいところも嫌になるほど師匠にそっくりだ。ムカつくやつだぜ。面白くもね。
Trust me, you're not the only one I get on the nerves of. I am technically a member of your squad, you know. Shouldn't you be saying good job out there and giving me a blow to hoozle or something? No. Well, not that I really want you to, if we're being perfectly honest here. And anywho, having earned the overall top ranking in marksmanship, I was able to take the biggest trophy back to my squad. And surprisingly enough, it turned out that the second place runner-up also belonged to Squad 7. Okay, we got second place. We're best loser. That's good. On the strength of that 1-2 finish, our team ended up as the overall winner for the day, giving us an even sweeter taste of the liquor known as victory. But as it turned out, all this had some unexpected repercussions. What do you mean? Well, in recognition of my individual victory in the marksmanship competition, I was awarded with a small badge that signified my achievement. You're damn right! I'm awesome! It was something like a simple metal pinned to my otherwise empty lapel by the base commander himself. Of course, it would have been annoying to take the thing off every time I needed to do laundry, so I didn't usually wear it. In fact, I pretty much just tossed it in my locker and forgot about it. This disrespectful treatment of my Medal of Honor apparently didn't go over so well with some people. Look, I'm lazy. I don't want to take it off and then clean it and put it back on. You kidding me? One day, as I was reading a book in the living quarters, one of my classmates called out to me. Oh, God. Oh, hi. Wee-woo, alert, Space Marines? What?
Hey, Genie! シカトしてんじゃないよ。あんただよ、Genie! 聞こえないの?
I recognize you from the trailer. Hey, Genie. I'm not sure who you are, but someone's here for you.
あんたに言ってんだよ、あんた!
What, me?
あんたでしょ? この前の射撃大会でトップだった KZ って日本人。
I don't mean to brag, but actually I'm not gonna brag. This is not what I do. KZ? Oh, I guess that's coming from Kazami. Somehow.
ケイジー・ユージェニーだからジーニーでいいよな。
That's dumb. It really doesn't. Your thought process makes no sense whatsoever.
名前なんてどうでもいいじゃない。それよりあんたに話があるのよ。暇そうにしてるし、時間あるんでしょ？
Why does everyone want to pick a fight with me? I just exist. Sorry, who are you again?
やっぱり覚えてないのね。ミリーだよ、ミリー・スタン。同じ7班なんだから名前ぐらい覚えておきなさいよ。
Sorry, I only ever remember Danny. Because we're always together. I really don't want to hear that from you, of all people.
いいから面貸しなさいよ。こっち来い。
Where the hell are we going? Why are the women in my life always so pushy? The male and female recruits had separate living quarters, so it wasn't surprising that her face wasn't familiar. Ah, okay. But now that I thought about it, I did have a vague memory of someone like this being in our squad. Glancing at the cleaning duty schedule posted in the hallway, I found that her actual name was apparently hold on. Oh Jesus. Millie Stanfield. I'm just gonna say.
私バカだから自分の名前も書けないし、ミリエラ・スタンフィールドなんて長ったらしい名前も鬱陶しいからミリー・スタンで通してる。
Oh,
ミリーでいいわ。
Millie, I'm all right with that. To be frank, I can't even say your name, let alone. Good to know. That actually explained a lot. She'd probably taken the last syllable of Yuuji and turned it to Genie because my actual name was too hard for her to remember. All right, okay. So anyway, what do you want with me?
あんたは忘れてるかもしれないけど、私は忘れない。つうか、私のこと全く気にしてないってその態度が気に入らないつうか、ムカつくんだよね。
Listen, I'm just here to do this, you know. Look, I seriously have no idea what you're talking about.
この前の射撃大会の2位は私だよ。
Oh, well, you're best loser. So, what do you want from me? Oh, okay. Congrats, I guess. Wait, I bet, how, like, she's second place. So, like, what's the difference? How much is the difference between my score and hers? I got max score, alright? You can't beat me.
ああ？何？やっぱ喧嘩売ってんの？よし、ぶっ飛ばす。
Please no. I don't want to have weird flashbacks that I probably know I'll inevitably have when I try to fight someone in a school. Oh, Jesus, no. Oh! Hey, watch it. You almost hit me.
ち、泥くせえ顔してるくせに妙にすばしっこいな。つか、手を離せよ。痛えよ、マジで。
Cause I'm Yuuji, alright? I'll let you go if you promise not to throw another punch at me.
うるせえよ。そんなもん私の勝手だ。私に命令すんじゃねえ。
Don't do this. This isn't an order, it's a request. Don't try to hit me again. Please. Oh.
てめえちょ、マジか。折れるぞ、こら。
I'm just like, don't try to hit me again. Please.
くそ。あったよ。お願い聞いてやんから手離せよ。
And she goes for another hit. What's the magic word?
はいはい、手を離してください。お願いします。
Well, since you asked so nicely.
くそ、なんなんだよあんた。
I'm basically a super soldier, but without the super soldier. You know, because I'm Yuuji. Occupation soldier. He fucking says soldier by profession.
知ってるよんなこと。
Then don't ask, stupid.
くそ、ムカつく。わかるか？私は今心底あんたにムカついてる。それこそ今この場であんたをぶっ殺して私も死んでもいいと思ってるぐらいだ。
Jesus Christ. This is completely insane. Look, what exactly do you want with me again? I'm halfway through a book I was reading, and if you're gonna kill me, then wait until I'm finished, alright?
くそ。
We're just driving her up the fucking wall. God, you're noisy. If that's all you wanted to say, I'm going back to my room.
こら待ってジーニー、私と勝負しろ。
A duel, you say? Here goes. Oh.
ちょ、あんた今なんで殴った？しかもグーで。
I'm telling you, man, if we actually end up, like, fighting her, we're gonna have some flashbacks, and it's not gonna be pretty. Okay? Because remember Merlin? I just call her Merlin. I don't know why. But remember Merlin? Like, you know, school, like a training school setting, you know? Same thing. Fighting each other. Not to the death in this case, but, oh, Jesus. You're the one who asked for a duel.
そうじゃねえ。別に喧嘩したいって言ったわけじゃ。くそ、話が。てめえ、思いっきり女の顔面殴りやがったな。マジか？
I win. Sorry, you were being incredibly annoying, so my hand sort of moved on its own.
くそ。あんた、ティッシュとか持ってねえ？
So she said she wasn't talking about a fist fight. Okay. She's probably talking about a marksman fight. Which I would win because I'm a Yuuji occupation soldier. Yeah, I do. Here, tilt your head up. My bad.
くそ。やべ、血が止まんね
Could always try pressing down on the artery on the side of your neck. That should do the trick.
え。バカかよ。脳に口も止まるじゃねえか。殺す気か。
Anywho, what's this duel you about? What do you want me to do?
あんた、私との会話がうざくなってさっさと話終わらせようとしてんだろ。
Glad you figured it out. Makes things simpler. Can you get to the point already?
だからさ、勝負だよ。もう一度私と射撃で勝負してくれよ。そうすりゃ私も納得するし。な、頼むよ。
Okay, good. It is just a shooting match. Whew. I don't know why my brain just went to, oh no, Merlin, you know, but that's... You do realize I have no reason to agree, right?
分かってるよ。それでも私は射撃だけは自信があったんだ。頭も悪いし、力もないけど、射撃だけは誰にも負けないって思ってたんだ。
Millie, let me tell you. Someone's gonna be better at you in anything that you do. You will never be the best at everything or the best of something. Never. There's always someone better than you. And you being an awesome marksman, that's cool, you know? That's how you have merit in your own right with that. So, I mean, I don't think I'm encouraging her very much.
私の成績は13点。
Oh.
あんたが出てくるまでトップの成績だったのに、あんたがひょっこりやってきて満点を出しやがったって言うんだから、こんなにムカつく話はね。
That's fucking good. Jesus, okay. Hold on.
トップの成績でバッジまでもらってよ。それを自慢げにしてるならまだしも、こんなもんに価値なんかねえと言わんばかりに雑に扱いやがって。
It's not a laziness, really, I swear.
そりゃ何かい？私に対する当てつけか？
It's not like they gave me a raise for earning that thing. I think worthless is actually a proper, pretty appropriate word, actually.
私にはそれしかなかったんだよ。私が軍にいる価値はそれだけだったんだ。それをあんたは無価値だって言うのか？
I mean, we could give her the pin. If you want the thing, I'll give it to you. Couldn't care less. But then that wouldn't, like, she wants to earn it. Like, it's...
そういう態度が気に入らねえっつうんだよ。とにかく勝負だ。
How about we let her win, and then we give her the badge? Sounds like a massive pain in the ass. I mean, there's no upside for me, right?
よし、わかった。じゃああんたが勝ったら、私を好きにしていいぞ。
Please don't say that. We don't want to go through more horrifying experiences. I'll pass.
てめえ、こんな女もらっても困っちゃうみたいな顔して心底迷惑がってんじゃねえよ。
Can Yuuji just... Damn, at this point, refusing entirely would probably make me an enemy for life. Millie Stanfield. What a remarkably annoying woman. As these thoughts were running through my mind, I happened to glance over at the wall where the schedule for rotating chores was posted. My name was written under laundry duty for the upcoming week. Hey, Millie.
なんだよ。つかミリーでいいって言ってんじゃんかよ。
I'm already doing that because the person reading fucking sucks. If I win, will you take over my laundry shift next week?
ああ、そんなもんでいいのか？いいよ、代わってやるよ。
I like that. It lets me kick back a little. Appreciate it.
それは私に勝ってから言うセリフだろ。言っとくけど負けないからな。
Well, I ain't planning to lose either. Oh, are we doing this now? Ooh, I gotta save that for next time. I feel like, I don't know, like Yuuji doesn't care about the medal. He just, I feel like for me, I would still, you know, play, like, shoot my hardest, right? But I'd probably miss a shot or two, you know, just to like, I don't know. And then like, basically I'm saying I would let her win. And then give her the medal. But not make it look like I was intentionally losing. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, maybe I'm just, she means a lot to her while it means nothing to us. So that's probably what I'd do.